whenever there is a good festival which is programmed in a way that is audience first, and where the artists are also given the right opportunity and platform to go and perform, they naturally become good festivals to play at. And Southside Story has been something which has been very deliberate about it. It's a good festival. Through the years, right from the time, I think we were part of some of the earliest franchise of that in India. I think second season. Yeah. I think it has also hence evolved into a much better or a rather different sort of platform. I will be happy if mix master systems are aided by AI, better processing comes via AI, better ideas are curated via AI. While we were in college or when you were young, the music that you heard, it subconsciously rubs off on the things that you want to create. So I am now trying to recollect what rubbed off on it or what led to the creation of what. But mostly we were all from metal music background, with the exception of me probably who was training in South Indian classical music. So the larger idea was to always play metal music. I think that's what we are doing today also. It is just that progressive rock and metal music is what the staple of our music is. And maybe Broadway, I do not know. It's those zones that, or maybe more orchestral, choral style of music. I think that's where I would go. I mean, I don't know if the band thinks the same way.
Welcome to News 18 Sosha. My name is Yatamanyu Narain, and today I'm with Harish Sivaramakrishnan, who's going to perform with his band Agam at Dead FM's Southside Story. Welcome to the show, Harish. Agam has been a staple at Southside Story for years now. So what is it about this platform that, resonates so deeply with the band that you guys come year after year? And at the same time, what do you feel? How have this festival evolved over the years?
I'm very glad to have been invited in all the editions. I think it's always nice to be in this festival because it's curated really well. And I think it kind of, the programming and also the way it is put together, I think there's a lot of intent that goes behind the way this festival is put. Is envisioned, curated and put up for the audience. So I think we've gotten a chance to play both the Mumbai and the Delhi franchise multiple times. So no, look, I think whenever there is a good festival which is programmed in a way that is audience first, and where the artists are also given the right opportunity and platform to go and perform, they naturally become good festivals to play at. And Southside Story has been something which has been very deliberate about it. It's a good festival. I think the programming resonates with the fraternity that generally doesn't get to listen to a lot of music from down south in the northern parts of the country. So I think it ticks a lot of good boxes, and we as artists, I think we get a good opportunity to come and play. So I would imagine it's a thing that we all enjoy doing, and when it happens again and again, and when we are invited back, and we feel really good about it. So we get back into that. Yeah.
Right. So what do you have in store for the listeners who are going to come for your performance today?
So we don't come here as often as we would like. So there's always more music that we have written through the time and which we have not come here and performed. So we got we have a reasonable time to play some of our repertoire today. So should be good, I think, for the ones that have been asking us. And this is also pretty material because the last time we were supposed to be here, the concert had to be postponed due to some situation in NCR. So a lot of them actually were asking when do we get back here and play, and people who actually listen to our stuff. So it should be good for them. I think hopefully many of them are coming today. So I think they'll get to hear stuff that we've been making.
So my introduction to Agam was basically from Coke Studio. Malhar Jam was such a powerful track. I mean, and it was also based on my favorite rag, as Rag Mein Aage Malhar and Vrindavani Saran. So how did that platform, help in Agam's reach? I mean, because if that song impacted me so much, it must have impacted a lot of people from North. So how did it help in band's reach?
No, look, I think Coke Studio, through the years, right from the time, I think we were part of some of the earliest franchise of that in India. I think second season. Yeah. I think it has also hence evolved into a much better or a rather different sort of platform. See, with the time that we started, it was a great head start for an independent artist like Agam, because it was it's a platform that you want to go and put up your music because of the pan-Indian reach and people listen to it. I think it was pretty material for us. We had just started back in the day, we started meaningfully touring only by 2010, and by 2011 is when we recorded it, and 2012 is when it launched. So for a band that early in their career, getting an opportunity like Coke Studio to play your music in a platform that was very materially meaningful. Look, it also kind of took our music to places which otherwise would have been very hard to.
Yeah.
And you should remember, this is pre-streaming era.
Yes.
It is just about YouTube was just getting mainstream and internet proliferation. Mobile internet was not a thing, so so it was early days, and it was important to for a band like ours to get the chance to showcase our music. I think that is how it all started, and it took us to places where we thought it would have been hard to go to. So very grateful. I think it's a track that we enjoyed creating, and we continue to play that once in a while. But yeah.
Right, sir. So I also remember you left a very apologetic comment under the video saying, we are sorry that this version of the song didn't resonate with the audience. But many years after now, like if you go to that comment section now, people are in love with that song. So do you feel the audience of today has become very lenient, or what is it?
No, that comment was to one person who probably had a little more Puritan view to music. It was not probably a statement to all the people. I think we were pretty grateful to the audience that took and listened to the song and said good things about. But there were also people who probably have a slightly different notion about how music of this nature should be presented or how it should be performed. So that specific comment I remember was specifically to an individual who felt very emotionally against it. So I just thought maybe, as artists, the best to do is to say that we'll try better. I do that even today. After so many years, when somebody tells you that that's not how you should be doing, I'm like, okay, we'll try better. We'll try to. See, look, that's the thing with music. Like it takes its time before it gets to people. Sometimes when the generations roll, the resonance increases. So I'm just glad it got to where it got to, and not thinking too much about it. I think the idea is to write more music and try to get better at what you're doing. So
interesting, sir. So, but the album which it came from, the Inner Self Awakens itself, is a very diverse sound kind of an album, and at the root of it, it's a Carnatic fusion kind of an album. But at the same time, it also goes into other subgenres like folk and other stuff. So, can you recall something about the time when you conceptualized the album and went on road with it?
The first album, I think it was several years of work that we did before we got a chance to put together as an album. So, look, I think our diversity in music was not premeditated. I don't think, as musicians, we keep listening to stuff, we learn about them. We get inspired by stuff that other people are doing. Right. So every musician goes through this. I think our first album is just a sum total of whatever we heard through our childhood, probably through our formative time while we were in college or when you were young. The music that you heard, it subconsciously rubs off on the things that you want to create. So I am now trying to recollect what rubbed off on it or what led to the creation of what. But mostly we were all from metal music background. Yeah. With the exception of me, probably, who was training in South Indian classical music. Yeah. So the larger idea was to always play metal music. I think that's what we are doing today also. It is just that progressive rock and metal music is what the staple of our music is. And I think every other influence is probably what we are hearing at that point in time, or something that inspired at that point in time, and it makes its way into what we're creating. That's how it played out. But look, that's also the beauty of getting a chance to listen to great music being produced across the world, and you get a little bit of something from all of those guys. Yeah.
Right, sir. So the lineup of the band has remained consistent since 2003. So what is the reason and what is the secret behind this stability in band? Because you guys
No, actually not. We have gone through changes. I think the founding members, the first founding member moved out in 2011. A person called Suraj. He still plays for us from time to time. He wanted to pursue his PhD, so he left. And then subsequently, the founding bass guitarist and the founding drummer both moved to the US. Right. And fortunately, Aditya came in 2014, and Yadu came in 2015. Right. But for the last 10 years, I would agree, we have remained consistent as a lineup. I think, first of all, gratitude. It's important for bands to have a stable lineup for sustained periods in time to make music. Right. I think we're friends. I think the band was created later, and the friendship came a lot earlier. Right. I think we didn't come together to play music. We came together because we were together, and we're doing some fooling around with music before that as well, even before the band materialized. Right. See, look, I don't know. We just are happy. I think our friendship has forged itself better into a greater and tighter relationship through the last decade or so. And we are happy playing music together. We're sticking together and trying to write more music together. So the only reaction is gratitude. I think every band needs it. I think yeah, we are just grateful and looking forward to writing more music moving forward.
Nice. So, sir, I mean, AI has been making major strides in music production. Scary how you can, you're able to produce a good sounding song via prompt, and it is only going to get better from here. So, how do you feel this is going to impact the music industry, and what does it mean for the band itself?
To be very honest, I'm as less informed as many people are with respect to what it is and what it would become. Even though we have a fair sense of where it would head to, I think I'll give you I think I have a zoomed out answer to that. I really don't know what it would materially mean, but I think musicians tend to get better when you're challenged with respect to things that are mundane. I think it is the mundane part of music making that will probably get challenged first with automation. Just the way it happened in software industry or in photography industry or in tech industry. So I think music will also metamorphosize into something where humans need to apply more of their productive thinking to get better at what they are than probably just stick to what they know and just blaming it on lack of avenues or technology to kind of help them. So I will be happy if mix master systems are aided by AI, better processing comes via AI, better ideas are curated via AI, and if you get more access to things that you otherwise find hard to access via AI, I think I welcome all that. I think we as musicians, our job is to continue to keep making music and not necessarily be bogged down by what external tech phenomenons come. I generally think they all aid the creative pursuit than take it away. So I think it's a positive development. I think it should force, or it should actually prompt musicians to get better at their craft and do better than what they're doing today.
So, I mean, Agam's sound has, changed dramatically over the period of time. I mean, it became, after Inner Self Awakens, it became more atmospheric, it became more dramatic, more orchestral. So, was this change in sound, something organic, or was it a conscious decision at the band?
Very organic. It's just the listening changed. I think, like I was mentioning earlier when we spoke, I think our listening is evolving, and also access to music. Just remember, 2012. What access to music that we had versus what we have in, let's say, what we had in 2017 versus what we have in 2024. I think it is a very steep exponential sort of breakout of music that we are listening to. And as of today, the avenues are crazy. I have Spotify, I have YouTube, I have podcasts, I have Instagram, mostly Instagram. Small young creators who are making 1 minute, 1.5 minute content. I mean, you have so much music to listen to, and you have so many places to take inspiration from. It naturally rubs off on how you are thinking and creating music. So I think that is what has led to the change. And also, as you mature, as you get older, if you may, your ideas to how you want to create music firms up a little more, and you understand that this is the space where we need to create something or work on. All that has contributed, and I think it will stay that way, and newer artists will come. They would do something different, and then you're listening to them and you understand, we didn't know that existed, and maybe this is something that we can go and try. So it is that. I think it's a continuously evolving sort of process. So
Harish, I mean, one of my favorite Agam songs is Live Again, because it explores, Hindustani classical side of the band. But it also made me curious. I mean, why didn't the band, explore more Hindustani classical type of fusion? Because I mean, Live Again was a good, mix of, Durga, Rag Durga, and Patdev and Hamid Kalyani. So I mean, and whether that would be, whether the band would like to, explore that particular sphere in the coming times.
No, I think there's nothing prevents us from doing that. I think that particular song came very early in our life. I think it was not even written as a band song. It was just created because it was created as a cause song, and Ms. Shreya was very kind and generous to have lent her voice to it. We're very grateful. But look, I think it should happen. What you're saying should happen. It is just that it is not it has not happened. That's about it. I don't think there is any specific premeditation as to whether we don't want to go to a particular interpretation of Hindustani. It's about how much you know also, right? Sometimes think about it. I mean, you tend to play things that you know and have some expertise on, and the rest of it you're actually learning. So I think the point is about how much have we learned and how much have we developed our own understanding of the other genres of music. It should happen. I think now that you ask, I don't have a firm answer as to why it did not. It should. I think in the right time we will chance upon something which is meaningful and which is good to produce. I think it should definitely happen. But certainly nothing premeditated. It was not a firm thought that led to let's not do this now.
Yeah. So, as a follow-up, like if for an album, Agam has to depart from his Carnatic roots and, adopt a totally different genre altogether. So what would that genre be, and how would you guys, approach that?
Hard one, because it's very hard to think what else could you do. So that's the question, actually. I think, it will probably get more orchestral. Right. It is not a space that we are the experts in. I think we have used elements of that in our music with our limited understanding of Western classical music. But that's where we would go. I think orchestral, probably big band sound, brass, maybe Broadway. I do not know. It's those zones that, or maybe more orchestral, choral style of music. I think that's where I would go. I mean, I don't know if the band thinks the same way. I would go there and try. Yeah.
Right. So, as a huge fan of Hari RNG, have you ever considered of collaborating with him on a track? Because he's also done some experimental work with Colonial Cousins, and we all have witnessed to that.
I hope it happens, man. I hope it happens. I do get I have gotten fortunate chances to interact with Hari ji. I've spent some time with him, and I have gotten chances to sit down with him and have not really jamming, but he is such a profound musician with such wide experience. Hari ji is someone who has literally cut through all chasms of music, and he has so much traversal breadth, if you know what I mean. So I got a chance to sit down with him, and him speaking about what drives him and what is it that led to him doing whatever. It's always fascinating to hear from him. It is still not manifested, but why not? I think it is a thing. We are all fans, not just me. The entire band is a huge fan of Hari ji, and I really hope it manifests and we get to do something with it.
Right. So, what legacy do you hope that Agam leaves for the coming bands or for the emerging bands, especially in this genre of fusion music?
I don't believe in legacies, man. I think it's a very pervasive environment that we are in, and everybody has a part to play. Yeah. I'd rather hope that our music sustains and stands the test of time and is listened beyond that captive window of time that some of the music that is produced today gets denigrated to. I just hope that it has got a longer shelf life. I just hope that for what it is worth, people listen to us and try and get a sense of what we attempted to do long after even we are gone. And if that music inspires anyone to produce more music, not necessarily in our style, not necessarily in what we are playing, that's not important. But I think as artists, if we are able to even in a small way influence musicians that come after us to continue playing music and challenging convention in whatever small little ways that they can, I would consider that our small little journey as musicians would be pretty fruitful. Legacy is a large word. I don't think we have created enough to leave a legacy. There are more people who have done a lot more to music to leave a legacy.
So lastly, what are some of your upcoming songs or projects?
We are on our third studio album, the biggest that we have created. We are doing 6 songs and possibly one more a little later. They will come in as singles because albums are not a thing anymore. Nobody's printing CDs, so it will come as singles. I think we are in the last stage of post-production. I think by November we are hoping that it will come, and more details should emerge by October. The good part is I think this is probably the longest we have taken to put an album together, and this is also the hardest we have worked and the the largest of scale that we have done. So it is, and I genuinely hope that all that comes together and works for the people that listens to it, because honestly the audience doesn't care the years or the scale or the money that you spent. As long as the music works, they're happy, which is why even bedroom records sometimes work better than than large productions. Yeah, so I don't want to over index on how hard we have worked, but I just genuinely hope that the hard work has translated into good music and people like it. So we're hoping that.
Right. So yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you so much
Superman.
for joining, and all the best for the upcoming album, and all the best for your performance.
Thank you so much, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Lovely meeting you.
Lovely
Cheers.
meeting you.
Thanks.
Thank you.